Alright, it's been a little while since I've actually messed with any of these printers. I still haven't gotten caught up on everything. My friend John gave me some glow-in-the-dark filament that he used like a piece of it to do something, I forget. Something for a flashlight. Anyway, this is the printer that I printed I printed a bunch of direct drive brackets for it. I haven't gotten around to that. Um, it's still on the Bowden tube, but it's got the Capricorn tube, so I guess there's no issue with the temperature, maybe? I don't know. I really don't feel like that's really a problem here. Um, this one here has a nocturne fan in it. It's really quiet. Dave put the BL touch on it. And I don't remember what was wrong with this one when I got it. Um, there's still a few other issues with it. So right now, what we decided to do is I've got it printing at 200%. I'm pretty sure this file is sliced at 50 millimeters a second. And what I've kind of learned from screwing around with these printers in the last couple of months is that even though you turn that speed up to like whatever, it's not really going that fast because maybe the acceleration speeds aren't changed, you know. So, and the extruder will probably keep up no problem. But so the thing is, with changing speed, you got to change all of it. So I've also run into a curious thing where like the SVO6 Plus that I have is always anytime you slice a file, it shows it to be like extremely slow, and no matter what you change the numbers to. And I'm wondering why that is. I've tried to adjust a lot of different things. It seems like it's limited by something. So, slicing software, profile, you know, I mean, that's like a big deal on a lot of these printers to get them to print fast. So, slice it wrong and it's not going to print very well. But this one here, I'm just kind of fiddling around with it. I want to see what it will do, maybe what its limits are, and see how fast can I print, you know, and still get you know, a decent print. Well, where does it stop at, you know? What's it top out at? So I haven't really tried to do that with any of these. I'm just printing a test cube right now, and with this really weird PLA that's like almost clear. And to me, it looks like it's boogered up in the corner. Um, maybe even elephant's foot or something. I'm not really sure. Um, but I think the temperature might be a little too high at 70 on here. Maybe 215 is too high on this particular one. I don't know. But I'm going to let it do its thing and just see how it turns out. And it should run out of this stuff pretty quickly. So it's just like this really nasty, brittle crap. Just trying to hurry up and use it up. So we're already in a very short amount of time, I don't know, 14 minutes. This thing was telling me 2 hours to print. And that was 9 minutes in. So now it says 1 hour and whatever. So it's actually pretty good. So I did a I think like what they call auto bed mesh on it. So this is running a different firmware on the screen and the computer, and I mean, obviously none of the Ender 3 Pros came this way. So with this one here, I'm kind of like, well, do I want to go and add this bracket here? I've got another one of these kits. Do I want to go add the extra Z screw on this one? Or do I want to do it on the Neo? The V3, no, not the Neo, just the Ender 3 V2. It doesn't have touch or anything. This one actually has the 4.2.7 board. So, but I've heard these people talk about you need to adjust the voltage of the stepper motor output to drive 2 Z screws, but I haven't had a problem with my Neo, and I converted that one. But I don't know, maybe people are using, other than Creality stepper motors. See, the thing is, if you do the lead screw on this, to me it would only make sense that you would get a Creality kit, because you might end up with completely mismatched stepper motors for the Z. So when you get the kit, it comes with the correct ones. And I think maybe on this one here, I might be wrong, but I think you can just pop the lid and access the top cover. No, maybe not. But then there was one where I thought you could just pull the cover and get to the computer, because something is, you gotta change the cable unless you buy one of those cheap kits. So some of the cheap kits have a better idea, which I kind of like, and that is that they just put a Y splitter right here. Let me just go over to the other side. So I've found 2 things that I find don't really make a huge difference when modifying an Ender 3, and that's the direct drive and the Z screw. I haven't had any problems related to the Z screw that were obvious. This printer, in fact, still has the plastic extruder, and I had to go in and trim, I think, this tube, and it was doing this again. So what happens here, see this? Get it focused. See the tube's flexing? So we just have to deal with it for now, but between the retraction and extrusion, the tube is able to move back and forth a little bit, and that could cause problems. You watch it to see, it moves quite a bit. So I thought I had fixed it. So this piece here is just kind of not holding it very well. So I'm going to have a little bit of a problem with the direct drive on this one. I also did a direct drive custom bracket on this one, and I had to drill it out and stuff, and I think it was one of the ones I was going to use on here, but what happens with this one is that the bracket gets in the way over here because you have the BL Touch. And there is somebody that does make like a bracket where you can bolt your BL Touch onto the plastic and just do away with this metal part, and that might be a good idea. But I can honestly say that unless you're going to print TPU with this printer here, you can just probably go ahead and fix this problem here and maybe upgrade the extruder. But I mean, like, it's not slipping or anything. It's not cracked that I know of. Usually, in my experience, when they're cracked, you'll hear them clicking and you'll see them slipping, especially when you're printing at 200%. Let's see, what do we got now left? We're 19 minutes in, we got 55 minutes. Let's see how fast it is went. So I mean, it's nothing like super impressive, but looks like it should be pretty decent. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put the motor on this one or the other one. I'm kind of leaning towards this one since it has the BL Touch sensor, and then we have the software here, which I think is able to implement the mesh. It's the professional firmware. I think it can implement the bed mesh regardless. of what you have set. I don't know, or maybe you have to have the command in the G code on the print file. I'm not sure what this was sliced as or what G code is in it, so it may or may not be doing the mesh. But it showed me my mesh. It was actually pretty bad. I need to get these freaking springs out of here and change them. We all know these things suck balls. Now with the glass print bed, also, I'm not really sure that I like the glass print bed, but I don't know. You know, I've just been kind of using it because that's what it came with. But I do have some of the really crappy flex sheets. I think I have a magnet left. And I know I do have one of these PEI sheets for one of these. So I hadn't bothered to use it on these because I was having problems. And, you know, I didn't want to dig into it and gouge it up. But we got a bunch of these. Some of them are damaged. And also, I got all these Overture stuff. This is some other type of Ender printer here. And it's damaged on the bed. And I thought, well, let's just stick this on here. So, I mean, like, technically I could, you know, use one of these. And these are actually seem pretty nice. I haven't tried one yet. These would be kind of hard for me to set it up to print with because they're smaller than the regular sheets. But I've got boxes of these, which could go right here. See this? So Dave printed something here and then gouged up the bed. This one's actually not that bad. It was actually really, really bad. And it was like nylon or something, and it didn't want to come off. And I heated up the sheet, got it off of there. I believe maybe same thing with this one. So I have these, and I think these work pretty good. But it might be easier to stick with the glass. So I've got the Z kit in here, and then got some capacitors for the radio that I need to deal with. But I'm just winding down. Gonna turn off the guitar amp, and we'll check on this tomorrow and decide which one to do.